The scene for the 2007 Concacaf Gold Cup is now Reliant Stadium in Houston, Texas, where they're expecting a sellout crowd for tonight's doubleheader. The action all gets underway with Honduras taking on Cuba in the first match of the evening. Good evening and welcome to our coverage again of the Concacaf Gold Cup alongside Shep Messing. I'm Steve Cangelosi, and the waters are starting to clear as we make our way towards the knockout phase of this tournament. A clearer picture as to what we could expect in the quarterfinal round. Let's show you what's unfolded already in Groups A and B of the Gold Cup. Now, Group A will send 3 teams to the quarterfinal round. Canada and Costa Rica, as well as Guadeloupe in the tournament for the first time, and they have already clinched one of the best third seeds in this tournament. As we focus our attention on Group B, undefeated United States will go in as a number 1 seed. Guatemala as the number 2. El Salvador has a very outside shot. Now in the final day of Group C, we have the complete picture by the end of tonight. Mexico, the giant of this group, all of a sudden is reeling just a bit. More on that in a moment, but it's Honduras and Cuba, with the Honduran team coming off really one of its most celebrated victories of all time, beating Mexico. Shep.
Well, Steve, after a victory like that, Honduras over Mexico, one or two things. Either they have a total collapse because they're still celebrating. More likely, they really build on it and should be flying.
And as far as Group C is concerned, let's look at the standings as they exist right now. Now, Panama is in first place with a record of 1 win and 1 draw. We'll get to Mexico later. What about the 2 teams we're about to watch? Well, Honduras can clinch a quarterfinal berth with a win or a draw. A loss and it gets complicated. Honduras would need Panama to defeat Mexico later tonight. That would be good enough as long as Honduras doesn't lose this game by 4 or more goals. Got all that? We'll refresh you later on it. Cuba, it's much more simple. A win puts Cuba in the knockout round, a loss or tie, and they would be eliminated. Good night of soccer coming up deep in the heart of Texas. Honduras and Cuba to get it started. The CONCACAF Gold Cup kicks off in just a few moments. Starting lineups and the first kick when we come back.
At the Gatorade Sports Science Institute, we test athletes in the lab. Because we know they'll be tested on the field. Gatorade, the most tested sports drink on the planet.
The screenings that happen here might be fun or dramatic, but it's not real life. There's another screening that is real life, and it could save your life. It's a screening test for colorectal cancer, the second leading cancer killer of men and women. Screening finds precancerous polyps so they can be removed before they turn into cancer. I got screened. Now it's your turn, so you can stick around and enjoy the show.
If you're 50 or older, get screened for colorectal cancer.
Work like a pro. Play like a pro. Tackle tough jobs. Dominate the game. Destroy the competition. Go professional. Choose Makita.
Reliant Stadium in Houston, Texas. It will be a sellout crowd by night's end, many of them filing in for the nightcap between Mexico and Panama. But the first order of business, a game of equal importance. Honduras is set to take on Cuba in the first match of the night here in Texas. Welcome to our coverage again of CONCACAF Gold Cup 2007. There's Carlos Costly. No one had more to do with one of the biggest Honduran soccer victories of all time just a few days ago at Giant Stadium. Shep, he got the game winner in the 87th minute, and oh, are they revved up for this final phase of group play.
Well, Steve, we look at the lineup. Costly is a hero. I like this team from Honduras. Amado Guevara patrolling in the midfield, Pavon up top, 3 in the back, Felicio in goal.
Cuba, the lineup put out by Raul Gonzalez. They are still very much alive in this picture in Group C. And the lineup they put out, Rene Alcantara has been their main force so far. He has 2 goals in the tournament, and they'll need service from the likes of Cervantes today to keep up with a Honduran team that has as good a feel about themselves as they have in a very long time. And a new addition to the lineup today is number 10, Julio Cesar Leon, the midfielder who plays for Genoa of Italy's Serie B, soon to be Serie A. That's the reason he's late. He was involved in a promotion game. They did get promoted, and now they feel this team is more complete.
There's no question. He adds a lot to the team, Steve. He should patrol the left side of the midfield. He's a quality player. He's had a tough week. Let's see how he gets integrated into this game.
Now, of course, Honduras is in white, moving from right to left on your screen. We get a look at Jorge Caballeros, who played a big role in that win over Mexico simply because he got under the skin of Blanco, a red card in the first half, and that really changed the entire match. This one sent deep into the attacking area. They look to get it up top for number 9, Carlos Pavon, played in the midfield and controlled by Honduras. Up top, Pavon and Costly work together. Carlos Costly with a cross in front, and that's cleared out by Cuba. Looking to stay on the attack was Claros. He had it taken away, and now Cuba starts back the other way. Opening minutes here in Houston, Texas, of a scoreless match.
Steve, you talked about Costly. I mean, he is a hero now in Honduras, but I don't think it's a real shock. He's a big, strong, physical player. We saw him come in as a substitute and score a goal in group play. And I think he's a real good complementary player for the other players up top, Pavon, Claros.
3 in the back, Caballeros, Garcia, and it's Aguirre for Honduras. This one is played deep down the right side. Pavon marching on is brought down on the far side of the field. No foul is called. We play on, and Cuba push forward now over the midfield stripe.
Now, Cuba, we've talked about it, Steve. An interesting team. I think people underestimated them coming into this Gold Cup. They've shown they can play.
In the midfield for Cuba, Adonis Ramos. Making a run down the right side is Faife. This is played by Gisbel Morales. Faife now on the near side has it for Cuba. Plays it back into open space, controlled in the midfield. Villarrutia, Ramos, and Colome. A giveaway there. Here comes Honduras on the attack. This is Leon back in the lineup, who gives for Costly. Carlos Costly, cross in front. Pavon, score! Carlos Pavon in the 3rd minute of play. The man with the captain's armband gets Honduras off to a rip-roaring start. It's a 1-0 game.
That's a dream start for the team from Honduras, and you called it, Steve. Leon, his first real play of the game, takes the ball, and that's a perfect pass. Look at the pace, the timing. Costly takes it, left foot, squares it. That is a textbook goal. Nobody goes with Pavon. They're ball watching. That's a superb start to the game.
Costly gives it up down low in the box. He was the finisher in the last big win over Mexico, and they were waiting for their 33-year-old striker to get on the board in this tournament, and he does so right off the bat. So Honduras plays with a lead. Will Cuba have an answer now? And looking to answer back is Ramos, who sends this off the left foot. This is softly headed in the box, controlled now by Aguirre for Honduras. He'll let it go over the goal line, and it'll come back the other way. Carlos Pavon gets things started here in Houston tonight.
Well, again, a textbook goal, Steve. Nobody went with Pavon. All eyes were ball watching as Costly took the pass, squared it. Pavon with the finish.
Got a quick look at Orlin Vallecillo, making his 3rd start of this Gold Cup for the Honduran national team. It's played in the midfield area, controlled now by Cuba. They look to get it ahead. Cervantes making a run on that left side, but a whistle did blow. Offside flag went up. This will be possession for Honduras. Talk about this forward tandem of Costly and Pavon. One of the reasons they're paired up together, the injury to David Suazo playing in Italy. And This is the tandem that they were forced to go with in some respect, and they've answered the call here these first few games.
Now, you think about the depth on this Honduran team up top. Suazo, a spectacular player. Right now, though, Steve, it's a critical part of the game for Cuba. Just had an early goal scored. They've got to keep their heads up, stay in this game.
And the man they're going for right there, Alcantara, number 18, with a run right up the field. That was Cervantes trying to get it to him. Pass off the mark. It's controlled by Honduras. Garcia played this across. It's Aguirre. Knocked it out, and this will be possession for Cuba here.
Not a lot of depth. They have their best team on the field right now. Alcantara has been a spark plug for them, but again, I think it's a critical part of the game, Steve. You're playing in front of a huge crowd. You need a win to get out of this group. You've given up an early goal, and that's what Honduras has to offer off the bench.
Martinez, Oliva, Rodriguez, who've seen a lot of time in this Gold Cup. This is headed out towards the far side of the field and controlled by Edgar Alvarez. He squares one. Amado Guevara is on the ball now and controls for his club. Opening moments here. A 1-0 lead for Honduras. They look to get it up top for Costly, but that's picked off. Controlled by Cuba. And on the back line, this is Colome to Fernandez. And an errant pass means it's going to be a throw-in for Honduras on the far side of the field.
I like the size and the strength of Costly. That's what strikers love. Players like Pavone can run off him, pick up the scraps. And of course, Amado Guevara, he's the one who will dictate where the Honduran team sets up in the field, either deep or higher up on the field.
Foul is called against Honduras in the midfield area. That was Adonis Ramos who went down. Let's see how it happened.
Yeah, Caballero's a big, strong fella, not a lot of contact. Ramos going down. If you're Cuba now, I talked about it. Hold the ball, control it, string some passes together, get your confidence back up.
Yener Marquez plays this deep. Alcantara making a run, but this will come back the other way as it's over the goal line. Another look at the goal.
Again, that play breaks down so many different ways. Leon with a perfectly timed pass. Costly looks up, he knows what he wants to do, squares it, edge of the 6-yard back box. Nobody was close to Pavon. Morales, the closest player. But they got caught ball watching. When you play the ball early, you play first time, you make the good run. Sometimes it looks easy.
Ronaldo Rueda and his staff, we got a quick look at the celebration. Much to be happy about. The momentum from the victory 3 days ago spilling over into the first few minutes here for Honduras. A win or a draw automatically puts them into the quarterfinals. There is a scenario, even if they lose this game, where they would still be alive. We'll explain that as we move a little deeper into tonight's game. Cuba right now looks for an answer. Foul is called in the midfield against Amado Guevara. That's Villarrutia who went down.
Yeah, Guevara does a great job tracking back. He's known for doing that. He's not a typical defensive player, but he's a nippy type of player. He got the ball, but also fouled.
Little giveaway on the near side by Cuba. Back the other way on a counterattack, but Honduras gives it back. And now the Cubans control in the midfield and fighting for space. Making a run on the near side was Faife. Now loose at the edge of the box. This is crossed by Ramos, immediately knocked out by Honduras. Adonis Ramos getting up into the attack. And Leon, the man who knocked it out. A corner kick is coming up for Cuba. Vallecillo, the goalkeeper for Real CD España for his club team. That's headed out. Looking to break out is Honduras. Cuba keeps it alive, though. On the ball now is Gisbel Morales, but we get a whistle on the play. The referee, Joel Aguiar, gives possession to Honduras here.
Yeah, I like the referee's body language. You could see him point to his eye, telling the players, I saw it.
Ronaldo Rueda looks on. Throw in coming up for Honduras from the far side. They play it to Guevara. Into open space. Up top for Pavon. He has it knocked away. Back towards the midfield. Controlled by Itzaguirre. Caballeros plays it forward. Honduras over the top. One more time. Pavone settling it down. Shot off the side of the net. Looking for his second of the game. Carlos Pavone wants a handball.
Well, if you're Cuba, you've got to get a hold of Pavone. He's all alone. The back three step up. The ball played over the top. Yeah, he thought Molina got a touch to it, wanted a corner kick. I think he's right.
Comes back the other way. And now the battle for it in the midfield. Played all the way back. Caballeros over the center stripe. Fight for the loose ball. This is controlled by Cuba in the midfield. They'll play it all the way back. Yenier Marquez, their star defender, their captain, has been all over the field in this first half. He was lining up as a right back earlier. He seems to be back in the center now. So Cuba showing a little bit of a different look at times early on tonight. Offside flag goes up. This will be possession for Honduras.
Yeah, no question about that. A step in an offside position as that ball is struck. Referee's assistant right there.
There's Ramos getting the call in the midfield. Honduras is looking for its best finish ever at the Gold Cup. That would mean a championship. They were runners-up to the United States in 1991, the very first tournament. Free kick. Headed towards Pavone. Between two defenders. Pavone goes up, headed softly towards goal, and it's in! 2-0 Honduras. Carlos Pavone, the captain, strikes again. A blistering start for Honduras.
Well, that answers the question. How are they going to come back after the upset of Mexico? This is brilliant, Steve. It's a brilliant individual effort. I didn't think Pavone had a chance for it. He flicked it over Marquez. Molina's coming out. Look at this play. This is just all Pavone. There's the header. Flicks it up to himself. Molina should have stayed back on his line, but great agility, athletic ability by this man. Beats everybody to the ball and puts it away.
It was Costly who headed it forward towards the other part of the tandem up top, and these two have been a handful for just about everybody in their path the last two games. It's 2-0 Honduras. Faife now puts this into open space for Cuba. Here's a cross. Ramos tried to send it to a teammate in the box, but nobody on the other end. This will come back the other way. Ramos is fired up. He's had several chances low.
Yeah, that's a good run off the ball, and now he drills it right through the 6-yard box. Can't connect with a teammate, but Cuba is reeling. And you're right, Steve. That matchup, I mean, the tandem of Costly and Pavone, two very different goals, but two beautiful goals.
And now you're looking at Cuba getting more chances on counterattacks. As we said at the top, a tie is no good for Cuba. They need a victory. Costly lofts one high. And it's settled down now by Molina in goal.
Now he has created the first two goals of this game.
Cervantes has it taken away. This is all Honduras now. Costly makes a run. Has it knocked away by Marquez. Still kept alive, far side of the field. That was Edgar Alvarez. And on a bounce, Molina makes the stop for Cuba.
Nothing Molina could have done on the first goal. Second one, he misplayed a little bit. But if you're Cuba right now, Steve, you've got to weather the storm and try and find a way back into this game.
Faife for Ramos, but that's defended well by Caballeros. Controlled by Cuba. They play it to the near side. Faife on the ball once again. Puts this into open space. Alcantara tries to possess. And this will come back the other way. Quick look at Julio Cesar Leon, who's had a busy week already, playing in a promotion game in Italy. His team going to Serie B, playing for Genoa. And in mid-tournament, he joins the Honduran national team. Corner kick. Lofted high in front. That was deflected up top by number 3, Figueroa. And we'll get another corner kick coming up. Cuba will take it from the opposite side.
Cuba can't worry about anything other than let's find a way to get the next goal in this game.
A terrific atmosphere here in Houston tonight. The crowd is continuing to file in. They are expecting a full house by the time the second game begins. Mexico getting set to take on Panama. Here's the corner. In front, looking to get on it. Marquez could not, and this comes all the way back towards the midfield stripe. Fernandez takes it, plays one over the top. Two Honduran players challenge. They get it right to Amado Guevara. He skies one high, making a run. Costly. Ball is loose, cleared out by Fernandez. Throw in for Honduras now.
That's good recognition by Amado Guevara. He saw everybody from Cuba pushed up off the corner, won the ball, tried to play it over the top.
Chance once again for Honduras. Cleared out. Did a flag go up? Indeed it did on the far side. Dangerous opportunities left and right, though, for Honduras.
Well, again, very close. Started his run a little bit early. But if you're Cuba, I'll tell you what, Steve, they better do a better job of marking up in the back.
Faife now on the ball for Cuba. Top of the box, cleared out by Caballeros. Morales plays it ahead, into open space. Here comes Honduras one more time, a little chip. Molina cheating off his line, but that sails innocently over the crossbar.
And that's what Costly's saying. I was open, give me the ball, play it on the ground.
Edgar Alvarez with a chance there, has him on a 2-on-1.
Yeah, he should have bent this ball, squared it right over to Costly.
Far side. Alcantara making a run down that side. Knocked out. This will be possession for Cuba. This is a throw-in as we get a look at Itzaguirre, one of the back three for Honduras. Confidence for this Honduran team has grown immensely. Here's a shot from long range, wide of goal. And taking a shot for Cuba was Colome.
Why not? Vallecillo just watches that go wide. Nobody steps up to pressure the ball. So why not take a strike at goal?
Goal kick coming up in this 2-0 game. Got mustard on it, just not on net. Controlled now by Honduras. Guevara plays it between the legs. Pavon made a run withdrawing, but taken away by Cuba now. The Cuban national team needs a victory. A loss or tie eliminates them. Fernandez plays this forward now. Faife back to Fernandez. He controls for Cuba. And into open space, the attack builds now. Cuba with numbers. Cervantes now working the opposite side. Cervantes off the left foot. Good, solid shot, but it sails high of goal.
That's much better ball movement by Cuba. Short triangle passing game ends up on the left foot of Cervantes. Trying to bend this ball to the far corner. Gets under it, and it sails over the near post.
Alain Cervantes, veteran midfielder for this Cuban national team. Again, losing his defender, better chance of that as he switches sides. He's been mostly on the left side in this tournament. Honduras now. Guevara plays this into open space. Numbers build for Honduras. This is Guevara. Puts the brakes on top of the box. And that is deflected high. Let's see if Honduras gets a corner kick out of this or not. But Guevara with a golden opportunity here.
They're doing a great job. Look at the numbers. That's 5 against 3. The turnover in the midfield, that should be a corner kick. But that's what you could do with a 2-goal lead. Honduras sitting back, denying the passing lane. Turnover in the midfield, and they're off with numbers.
Amado Guevara, remember, had a penalty kick early against Mexico. He hit the post. A look of disbelief on his face, and that's one of the few things that's gone wrong for Honduras the last 2 games. Here's the corner kick. In front, Pavon again! Hat-trick, Carlos Pavon. It's 3-0 Honduras.
You have got to be kidding me. Molina is stunned. Look at the joy on the Honduran players. Absolutely incredible. He's the man right now. Hero, look at this corner kick. Watch Pavon find a little bit of space. Molina, what is he doing? Off his line. Perfect corner kick. Nobody marks up on Pavon. It's Marquez again. Pavon beats him to the ball. That's spectacular.
No player in the tournament has scored more than 3 goals yet. Pavone has done that in the first 42 minutes of this game, and he shares the lead for this Concacaf Gold Cup 2007. The hat trick with plenty of time remaining. So Cuba in a hole now. They play it on the far side. That's defended well by Garcia. Knocked back. Colome plays it forward. Cervantes on the ball. Left foot shot, deflected right to the goalkeeper Vallecillo.
Well, this is a nightmare for Cuba, Steve. You know, 1 goal okay early in the game. 2, not the end of the world, but they have a huge mountain to climb now.
They go over the top. Back to defend for Honduras. Caballeros making the run was Adonis Ramos. Goal kick coming up for Honduras, enjoying a 3-0 lead and seemingly on their way to the quarterfinal round. And if so much of tournaments like this are about momentum, who wants to mess with this team right now?
They are hot. Look at Pavone. He gets goal side on Marquez, and Marquez can't allow that. That's a set piece, a corner kick. Marquez has to be body to body on the side between the ball and the goal. He let Pavone slip behind him.
Pass in the direction once again of Pavone, who timed his run well, but that was intercepted by Cuba. We're in added time here in the first half. All Honduras a 3-0 game. Cervantes plays this. Faife on the ball now. That's mishit. A Carlos Pavone hat trick, the story of the first half. 3-0 Honduras as they head for the locker room. Our halftime coverage begins in a moment.
Work like a pro. Play like a pro. Tackle tough jobs. Dominate the game. Destroy the competition. Go professional. Choose Makita.
Through the Football for Hope movement, FIFA is committed to protecting children and their rights, furthering social integration and peace and reconciliation. Football for Hope champions health promotion and anti-discrimination. FIFA is firmly committed to using football to resolve some of the most pressing social challenges of our time. Football can change the world.
At the Gatorade Sports Science Institute, we test athletes in the lab. Because we know they'll be tested on the field. Gatorade, the most tested sports drink on the planet.
Welcome back. Our halftime coverage of the Concacaf Gold Cup 2007 alongside Shep Messing. I'm Steve Cangelosi. 3-0 Honduras leads Cuba. You look at the box score and you say one man is dominating this game. That's only somewhat true. The addition of Leon to the lineup has been a big, big boost for Honduras, Shep.
Steve, I think you're right. Leon has been an integral part of the first half. Took part in 2 of the goals. He's a beautiful player.
And Pavone is the man who's been finishing everything so far. That's the story of the first half. Let's look at the highlights.
First half highlights. It was all Honduras. Leon slips it to Costly. Square ball, edge of the 6-yard box. Pavone buries it.
And Shep, this is the easiest of his 3 goals. That's a gimme right in front. But the momentum would continue big time for the man who wears the captain's armband, the 33-year-old striker Carlos Pavone. The second goal, a thing of beauty, this time off the head.
Well, he flicks it to himself, splits 2 defenders, beats Molina, heads it in. That's another great goal by Pavone.
It came in the 12th minute of play, and he beats the counterpart captain, Marquez, for the ball. 2-0 at that point. Game's 42nd minute. Now it's off a corner kick.
Well, you'd think Cuba knows who he is by now. Leon takes the corner, and watch Pavone slips inside Marquez and puts it away.
What do you tell your team? You're down 3 goals at halftime, and you need a victory in order to stay alive in this tournament. I anticipate Cuba just getting up as much as it possibly can in the final 45-plus minutes.
Well, first of all, somebody better pick up Pavone. I mean, he's been brilliant, but Cuba has nothing to lose now. They have to press the attack. They have to look for turnovers in the midfield. They have to try and be opportunistic.
And they're trying for their first win of this tournament, their first victory in the Gold Cup since 2003. It's going to be a tough hill to climb now. Second half is just straight ahead. Our coverage of the Gold Cup continues in just a few moments.
At the Gatorade Sports Science Institute, we test athletes in the lab. Because we know they'll be tested on the field. Gatorade, the most tested sports drink on the planet.
The screenings that happen here might be fun or dramatic, but it's not real life. There's another screening that is real life, and it could save your life. It's a screening test for colorectal cancer, the second leading cancer killer of men and women. Screening finds precancerous polyps so they can be removed before they turn into cancer. I got screened. Now it's your turn, so you can stick around and enjoy the show.
If you're 50 or older, get screened for colorectal cancer.
Work like a pro. Play like a pro. Tackle tough jobs. Dominate the game. Destroy the competition. Go professional. Choose Makita.
Reliant Stadium in Texas, Houston to be precise, where the crowd continues to file in. They're expected to have nearly 68,000 for Game 2 of the doubleheader between Mexico and Panama. But the bottom line as we start the second half of this game between Honduras and Cuba, Honduras is on the verge of clinching not only a berth in the quarterfinal, but if they win the game and the result holds, Shep, they will be the #1 seed out of Group C and not Mexico. And how many people would have anticipated that?
Well, we talked about it earlier, Steve. Was it just a wild one-shot deal, the upset of Mexico, or are they for real? I think they've answered that question in the first half. Not just that man. Great goals, but great teamwork. Great tandem of Costly, Leon participating. This is a very good Honduras team.
They opened up this Gold Cup with a heartbreaking loss to Panama. They dropped that game by the final of 3-2 and really have answered the call since then. Whistle on the play. And a foul is called in the midfield. Carlos Costly was the big man against Mexico, and Pavone commits the foul there.
Well, they're such a physical tandem, Pavone and Costly. Big, agile, strong. And then the skill, technical skill of Leon really complements them.
Cervantes plays this across. Controlled on the back line by Cuba. Near giveaway as Costly was timing a run there in the midfield now. Controlled by Villarrutia, who I'm going to refer to as Kiki from this point on. It's a lot easier for us, and he wears it on the back anyway. This is played deep into the left corner. Nobody on the receiving end of that from Colome, and we'll come back the other way. Honduras will have possession and a 3-0 lead.
Well, if you're Cuba right now, Steve, the only thing they can do is come out with a little bit more energy, try and pressure the ball, try and create some turnovers. They've really been picked apart in the back, and they haven't done much going forward.
Vallecillo's goal kick goes all the way into the attacking area. This is Leon on the ball now for Honduras. Into the box. Pavone, second touch, puts it home. There's number 4. Carlos Pavone having the game of his life, and Honduras now in the midst of a rout.
I cannot believe it, Steve, and neither can that man Molina. Absolutely superb. Magical night for that man Pavone, but what skill. Leon played the ball in, Steve, and then Pavone flicked it up to himself. Watch the entry pass. Leon making a difference. He flicks it up to himself, outside of the right foot, puts it away.
Leon has played a role in 3 of the 4 that Pavone has scored. Obviously, this is a huge addition to the lineup, and Honduras' game has been elevated big time. A team that already had a win over Mexico in the books.
It's teamwork, too. Costly makes a run that pulls another defender away from Pavone. So running off the ball, great entry pass, and the rest, individual skill by Pavone.
Quick look into the record book shows that Carlos Pavone is now the 4th player in Gold Cup history to score as many as 4 goals in a game. Cervantes plays this back, and Cuba now down by 4. Marquez on the ball. Cervantes plays it up top. Morales on the ball. Colome to Faife. Faife into the box. Good job of ball possession here as Ramos plays it back. Colome lifts one into the box. That's knocked away by Figueroa. Cuba still controls. Here's a shot from about 20 yards out. Off the left foot. Sails high of goal. This will come back the other way. That's Adonis Ramos who gave it a ride.
Yeah, Ramos has been active. Here's the 4th goal by Pavone. What skill. Flicks it up to himself with the right foot, and then outside of the right foot goes far post. Perfect read by Leon. Look at this skill. Costly had made the diagonal run to drag a defender with him. That's superb.
Interesting to see now how long they let Pavone stay in this game. You just go for more, make some history? Do you sit on the lead? Do you sub him out and just let him get a nice ovation early in the game? See what approach is taken here by the Honduras coach, Ronaldo Rueda. Cervantes is on the ball now for Cuba, which appears to be about to exit from this tournament. This is loose, top of the box. Chance for Alcantara. This will not count, though. The ball is in the net. The offside flag did go up.
I don't think there's any question. I thought he was offside when the ball was played. Let's take a look. There's Alcantara. Yes, good call by the referee's assistant. Not even close. Alcantara has the play in front of him. He should have checked back with his run.
57th minute. Kike is done. Ariel Martinez, number 7, checks into the game. And the second substitution, Duarte, is in for Ramos. Leon controls, sends it up top. Another chance for Honduras. This is Edgar Alvarez. His shot. This one's parried away, though, by Molina.
Well, finally, Molina is able to get his hands on a shot on goal. Only one I fault Molina with was the second goal when he came out, committed the header. This one he makes a nice stop at the near post. But again, all kinds of time and space. Honduras getting behind the defense, and that man, Pavone, capitalizing 4 times.
This is a very dangerous quartet. We talk about the forwards. Corner kick for Cuba is knocked right back out, or for Leon of Honduras, I should say. Second try, that's gobbled up. The cross is handled by Molina, but the playmaking of Leon and Guevara and the finishing of Costly and Pavone, it's a pretty good setup that Honduras has offensively right now.
Well, I think you're right, Steve, as we anticipate, because I don't think Cuba's coming back from this. Honduras going further in the Gold Cup. I don't think there's any question they have the attacking firepower. The question will be on the defensive side of the ball.
Pushing forward, Alvarez now. Numbers for Honduras. Edgar Alvarez puts the brakes on. Shot goes wide of goal. They're off to the races seemingly every other minute.
Well, again, look at the numbers. 3 against 2. Alvarez elects to pull up, take the shot with the right foot. He could have played that ball square to the right.
Substitution. And that will do it for Carlos Pavone. A 4-goal performance, an historic one for the captain of the Honduran national team. Carlos Pavón is out. And for Honduras, we'll get a look at Wilson Palacios, number 8. We last saw Palacios when he was red-carded in the first match of the tournament for Honduras.
Well, that answers your question, Steve, and I think that's the right move. You're on. You're going to the quarterfinals, so get your stars out of the game.
Injured player down for Honduras just a moment ago. That's Rodriguez for Honduras. Foul is called against Faife. Julio Cesar Leon is set to check out. Emil Martinez will come on to finish the match for Honduras now. Substitution made in the 67th minute of play.
Well, they're loving it now, the Honduran fans, as this stadium is filling up to capacity.
Cervantes played it forward. Cuba has it on the back line. Clavejo played it forward. Honduras with a 4-goal advantage. Ariel Martinez trying to push it forward for Cuba. He cannot. Guevara on the ball now. Whistle blows. Foul is called against Cuba, and they restart quickly. Far side of the field. The Honduran attack builds one more time. Let's see if they get the foul call with Martinez going down at the edge of the box. No. Emil Martinez just checked in and nearly forced a PK.
Yeah, they're having fun now, the Honduran team, Steve. And if you're Cuba, you're really just playing for pride. They're going to fight it out, see if they can create an opportunity, get a goal or two. But this has been a dominant performance by Honduras.
Controlled in the back line now by Honduras. Caballeros and Figueroa patrolling the center back positions, working on the shutout. Near takeaway by Cuba, but a whistle blew. The foul is called against Cervantes. There's the play a moment ago.
Yeah, that's a good non-call. He really makes the most of it. As soon as there was contact, went down. Not going to get a penalty kick like that.
Carlos Oliva has come on for Alvarez. Guevara on the ball for Honduras. Plays it wide. And gives to Izaguirre. Figueroa playing it forward. It is all Honduras. All 4 goals scored by Carlos Pavón, who's checked out of the game. Izaguirre plays it to Martinez. Emil Martinez feels pressure from behind, works it back. Claros on the ball now. Jorge Claros goes down. And we get a card.
That's a good job by the referee. Doesn't want this to get out of control. The score is out of control, but you want to blow a quick whistle. Shows the yellow card. Make sure the players know, let's keep this thing clean.
In the midfield, Cuba down 4. We'll see if they can avoid the shutout and end on some positive note. Colome played it forward. Cervantes for Alcantara. They run into traffic, whistle blows, and Cuba should get a free kick out of this as Alcantara went down. And a yellow card to boot. In the direction of number 16, Carlos Oliva.
Now Oliva clips him from behind, really a tactical foul. Once again, a referee, Steve, really showing the yellow just to make sure this game stays peaceful. Costly with a smile, he can afford to now. Perhaps this is Alcantara territory.
Vallecillo is working for the shutout in goal. This will be struck from a little more than 20 yards away. He works the wall in front of him. A 4-0 game. Looking to keep the sheet clean. Colome is one of the players over the ball. Will get the signal. from Joel Aguiar, the referee. One, two, three, four, five, six together. Colomé takes it right into the wall. Second chance, cleared out.
It's much more difficult when that ball is dead center. The attacking team on a free kick would prefer a little bit of an angle. Six in the wall, they really had no place to go.
The kind of a night it's been for the Cuban national team. Cervantes plays this off the head into open space. Colomé races over, controlled by Morales, who plays it back. Cuba looking for some answer here as Colomé gives to Cervantes. Into open space. Morales with the cross in front. Turnaround shot, but not getting much on it to beat Vallecillo. Duarte with the chance in the box.
A little bit better ball movement, the quick entry pass, the turn and the shot, but not a problem for Vallecillo.
Cleared out by Cuba into the attacking area. Honduras is about to enter the quarterfinal round of this Gold Cup as the top seed coming out of Group C. No matter what happens in the nightcap between Mexico and Panama, neither one of those teams can surpass Honduras in the standings. Cuba will be finished after this game.
Well, the shock of the tournament had been Honduras, the upset of Mexico. Maybe it's not an upset.
Colomé. Far side. Faife. Cross. They'll get a corner kick coming out of this as that went off Amado Guevara. Cervantes back to Faife. He'll work it for another corner kick. Interesting to see the growth of this Honduran national team, not only throughout this tournament, but beyond. As we enter another year from now, World Cup qualifying phase, if they keep it together. Some good talent that's on display here today. Knocked away by Itzaguirre. Played it up top in the direction of Costly. Makes a run, but a fine defensive effort there to knock it away by Fernandez.
Well, Pavon was a player that when Amado Guevara had first signed to play in Major League Soccer, he had been trying to tell the coach, you got to bring my teammate on the national team, Pavon. There was talk about Pavon coming to Major League Soccer. I'll bet you that talk is picking up right now.
In the midfield, controlled by Honduras. Claros is on the ball and plays it back. Caballeros. Forward in the direction of Costly, but this goes all the way back where Garcia will play this. Oscar Garcia gives to Caballeros, who clears it away. Putting the final touches on a victory here at Reliant Stadium in Houston, the Cuban national team. Foul is called against Cervantes, and it's going to be a straight red for Elaine Cervantes. And that's a disappointing way for him to end this tournament because he played well for the most part for Cuba.
Yeah, he had his arm up. I didn't see whether he really threw it violently or not. The referee, though, no hesitation to pull the straight red. Look at Cervantes. Very hard to tell. Maybe this looks like it'll be a good angle. He did raise the left elbow. And that's a good call. He took a shot.
Carlos Oliva, the man who went down, and Cuba will finish up shorthanded in the waning stages. The red card issued in the 87th minute of play. Figueroa for Honduras now. Final moments. Long pass, near side, brought down by Palacios. Wilson Palacios cuts into the box. He's brought down. Will he get the call? Penalty kick.
Let's see who takes it. Amado Guevara, you mentioned it before. He took one earlier in the tournament, sent the keeper the other way, knocked it off the post, didn't go in. Here's the foul in the box.
Pavon, we remind you, is out of the game. No chance for 5. He was subbed out. Marquez committing the foul. Good call?
I think it's a good call. Marquez, this is a game he will want to forget. He clipped the left foot. Here we go.
It is Amado Guevara. hit the post against Mexico. The outcome here is not in doubt, but this is Guevara. 5-0 Honduras. Pavone left. They gave the old captain of the Honduran national team the armband back, and he's apparently finished the scoring here for Honduras.
Well, why not? It's been a dream night, so give Amado Guevara the chance to redeem himself. Let him go bursting with confidence into the next round. He missed going the other way the other day. This way, he slots it to the right.
A nightmarish finish for Molina and Cuba. They were looking for their first Gold Cup victory in a long time. Not since a victory over Canada in 2003 had they registered a W. For Guevara and Honduras, it's on to the quarterfinals once again as the top seed out of Group C. For Guevara, his second goal in the tournament. The other was off a set piece too. That was a free kick in the opener versus Panama. Terrific effort by Amado. And everything comes up roses for the Honduran national team in this, their final game of group play. Matchups to be determined once Mexico and Panama are done later. The quarterfinals will take place on Saturday and Sunday. Foxborough, Massachusetts, one venue. Reliant Stadium here in Houston, Texas, the other. Crack a smile, Ronaldo Rueda. It's all gone well today.
Well, if you're going to get to the quarterfinals, this is the way to get there, brimming with confidence, an offensive juggernaut tonight against Cuba.
All of this without David Suazo, their star forward. We're in added time. It's a foregone conclusion. Garcia plays this across. What a buzz in the stadium, too. Mexico and Panama are coming up next. A sellout crowd on hand for that. Played down the right side, but too far for Faife. This will come back the other way. Alcantara, check that, was making the run down the right side. Played back by Honduras and cleared out by Figueroa. The Honduran national team ranked 55th by FIFA in the monthly rankings that come out. Seem poised to do some good things in this Concacaf Gold Cup.
Well, let me do the math. In the 3 games in the group play, they've got 2, 4, 9 goals. Offensive firepower not in question. Whether they can go take the whole tournament, we'll find out if they can defend as well.
These are the final seconds of their victory over Cuba. Alcantara on the far side. Plays it back. That's it. It's all over. 5-0. Honduras wins it. We're back with a wrap in a moment.
Work like a pro. Play like a pro. Tackle tough jobs. Dominate the game. Destroy the competition. Go professional. Choose Makita.
Through the Football for Hope movement, FIFA is committed to protecting children and their rights, furthering social integration, and peace and reconciliation. Football for Hope champions health promotion and anti-discrimination. FIFA is firmly committed to using football to resolve some of the most pressing social challenges of our time. Football can change the world.
At the Gatorade Sports Science Institute, we test athletes in the lab. Because we know they'll be tested on the field. Gatorade, the most tested sports drink on the planet.
The Honduran national team makes a big statement as they wrap up group play at the Concacaf Gold Cup. Alongside Shep Messing, I'm Steve Cangelosi. A 4-goal effort from Carlos Pavone, part of a 5-0 win. So now let's take a look at the updated standings in Group C. The victory for Honduras means, yes, they're on their way to the quarterfinals. Not only that, they're going to go as the number 1 seed out of Group C. Now, we've made our computations. Panama, by virtue of that Honduras victory, is in the quarterfinals now, regardless of what happens in their upcoming match versus Mexico. And the Mexican national team, reeling after that loss to Honduras just a few days ago, well, they're in good shape as well. The only way they could possibly be knocked out of this competition is if they lose this upcoming match against Panama by 4 or more goals. So Mexico in good shape. What a story here. Honduran national team 5-0. The highlights, there were many. Shep Messing, take it away.
First half highlights. Honduras into the attack. Leon slips it wide left. Costly looks up, squares it. Pavone with the goal.
The Pavone coming out party was just beginning. That set the tone for the entire match because the goal came in the 3rd minute. And from this moment on, the Cuban national team really was on its heels. Molina beaten once, this time off the head. What an effort here.
Well, again, he flicks it up over Marquez. Molina comes out. That's goal number 2. Individual effort, that time by Carlos Pavone. It didn't stop. Leon, the corner kick. Pavone gets to the near post and beats Marquez to it.
And this made it a 3-0 game as we went to the half here at Reliant Stadium. As we move towards the second half, Pavone picks up exactly where he left off. This is Leon, the playmaker again.
What individual skill. Pavone receives the ball with his right foot. Great entry pass. And then flicks it with the outside of the same foot to the far corner.
Pavone, 4 goals. He would be subbed out in the 57th minute of play. Cervantes finished his tournament with this red card.
Yeah, no need for that. Got the elbow up. It continues. Marquez takes down Palacios in the penalty area. Amado Guevara converts.
So it remains to be seen who Honduras will play in the knockout phase of this tournament. I'd imagine right now, these last 2 games show they're going to be a tough out no matter who they get.
Steve, I think they are, and we questioned what would happen after the upset over Mexico. We found out in this game they're on a roll, Honduras. They have momentum. They're a scary team for anybody to play.
And they've also got 2 hot forwards up top. Pavone with 4 goals in this game, Costly with 2 in the 2 games before that. That's a wrap for the first game at Reliant Stadium in Houston. Honduras, a 5-0 win to eliminate Cuba. For Shep Messing, I'm Steve Cangelosi. Thanks for watching again our coverage of Gold Cup 2007.